James and Carl Van Ness. And both get a good start. Look at that, James. A little shimmying there off the line.
That's what Carl was saying, though, is that he's one of the only guys not running the anti-lag. And it makes a massive difference coming off the line. It just shows that the competition has jumped up in this all-wheel drive class.
But look at that, quickly jumps. Oh, he swings out around that bollard.
Neck and neck.
He's done a lot of work as Carl on this car. So much has been changed in it for this year's competition. So he's coming out really fired up. And obviously the target that everyone is chasing is Bucky. You know, he's the one everyone wants to beat.
Wow, James turning more rally car as opposed to Gymkhana.
That was a big
mistake. That's into the concrete barrier on the top end there. Let's also have a look at how the track's set up. Massive gap between the perimeter of the track and where our spectators are sitting in safety. And that's why, for reasons like that.
And yeah, you can see actually the fans, as we follow Carl Van Ness, the fans applauding James Stevens there on the other side. As he steps outside of his vehicle, the fans give him applause. Says, thanks, man, but seen better days, but happy to see him step out of his car. So here's Essay, man, moving on.
What do you do in this case now? This is now focus, practice, keep it clean for next round. You know you've gone through.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for James, I know how much work they've put into that car to get it out there, so it's unfortunate for him. But yeah, as you say, you've got a clean run. You've gone through really. Just run round, don't hit anything, and save the car.
That's what I'm getting at. Is it not worth just backing things off completely and just roll in?
If you don't need to rev the car, don't.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That's how my mindset works. So.
But you could also use it as practice too.
You can, but then
that's the problem. Something goes wrong, mechanical, make a mistake. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Yeah.
Wow, look at that already.
I didn't see what happened.
Already there, the helmet off the grid. And look at here. Here's James coming in way too hot, overcooks it, and you can see him go hard into the wall.
Just understeer.
Right, boosh.
Oh, that's a big hit.
That was a big hit. So that front left has definitely seen better days.
But that is what we're talking about. There's two really long runs, and you think, here's my chance. I can give the car everything, and you say, oh, hang on, I've still got to make this thing stop and turn.
It's deceiving, that top corner. It's actually tighter than what it looks.
Hard to judge the depth.
Well, you can get a good run up from hitting that ball clip and then going up. You know, I was top end of second, and I've got a long diff in gear, so I don't know what speed I was doing, but I flicked it in, and for the moment it was... And then it was back on the power. It was like, okay, I've got this. So when you get that feeling, you can't push much further than that.
Yeah, but you're playing in rear-wheel drive. Yeah. You see, that's the problem there now.
To save that, would have been throwing him backwards and hook another gear. Liam would have been just flat clutch kick. He'd have been out.
That's the tricky thing in that situation. It's quite difficult though, because you actually can't judge where to brake. You know, it's not like you're on a racetrack where you've got your normal markers. Yeah, you've got to find a spot. You know.
Then once you push wide as well, you're in the marbles on the outside where it's like kind of no one's driven. It's really slippery. So once you're in there, you're a goner.
All right, so as we're going to get a cleanup here of James's Subaru off the course here, we will continue on with the action. But again, Luke, it's been great talking with you and wrapping out. And you don't have to go anywhere. I'm just saying it's good to get insight from a racer. But you know, unfortunately for you, you know, what are your plans for the rest of the year, as well as, let's just talk about it.
Commentary.
2020 Gymkhana Grid.
I need a big year now.
Yeah.
I've had the same engine set up for a couple of years. It's been holding me back. I got to the point where I was out driving what I had. I was over driving it just to try and keep up the competition, and that's not ideal. So we decided to make a change. The change was made. The decision was made like last year, but to get time and the funds for it all, we sorted it all out. Thanks to family, friends, and sponsors. And here we are. We have an all singing, all dancing V8, which is fantastic. And the plan is now we'll sort the cooling system out for sure, and then we've got a couple of options. End of the year, just go and hit as many events as I can. The plan was I was meant to be going out to Sweden. I think it was like a month ago now with the V8, and obviously we had a delay, so that was going to be ideal for testing, but we had to pull the pin on that one. So to come here and not test was a bit of a silly thing on my half, but I had no choice. So it was. We had to make it work.
I mean, Ken was actually mentioning it's what he's loved coming from one grid to the next is the step up. The people have said, listen, this is serious. We've got to up our game. And it's cool that you're doing that, not just for grid, but obviously from a drifting perspective as well. Where do you do testing now? I'm just thinking Europe's turning into a horrible time.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult.
Come to South Africa. I mean, it's,
Look at this guy. Did you say it's turning into a horrible town?
oh, it's horrible. It's snow and winter. And, I mean, where are you going to be playing in a rear-wheel drive car with what, a
We
630
just got an email
horsepower?
from UK. They said, what the heck?
Yeah. Who is this guy?
Horrible
Right.
time.
He's part of the South African Tourism Board,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting in South Africa in the sun.
It is.
it's hot,
I'm
it's
getting hot
it's,
now.
It's,
man. I'm not
it's
gonna
sauna.
lie.
But where do you go? So when you say you want to have like a busy, try and hit as many events, is it obviously more Europe-based down south? Or?
Yeah, but even like to try and test in the UK, we get hit so hard with noise levels, and you have to adhere to the rules, or you can't. There's trucks shutting down left, right, and centre. The people who live next door to the circuits are complaining about noise, and it's like, well, the track was there before you moved in, so it's really difficult. So it's not doing motorsport in the UK any favours whatsoever.
But it's a global thing, eh?
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the more people we talk about, it is a big problem. So.
What do you think about, so you look at a guy like Andy Stevens, I mean, I've driven plenty of EVs when we review cars, and I don't like to admit it, but it is the future. I get annoyed that every motorsport now needs to have an EV element. I don't think that's the case. But almost like that sort of hybrid technology would probably work better. But to see an EV car running here is so
Well,
mind-blowing.
I actually helped develop that car, and I was driving it, and I did some demos in it as
Yeah.
well. There was positive and negative feedback with the car. The car is amazing. Technology is amazing. And it will be the future for sure. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I love the sound of motorsport.
Yeah.
Everyone thought when I started using that car that I'd gone all eco-friendly,
Yeah.
tree hugging and all this stuff. And now I've just gone and thrown V8 in, you know, so it's like motorsport's about the noise, the smells, and you just won't get that with electric.
Yeah.
Although the performance side of things is fantastic.
Here's the question, though. I mean, it's what I was saying to guys, because we've driven so many of them, and you can't get away from instantaneous torque.
It's incredible.
But the way the way EV delivers power is the same, irrespective of what you're in.
Yeah.
You don't get the personality that comes with its all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, the engine. You don't have that. So for me, it's very much a plug and play. There's no real feel to it.
That was the biggest shock for me. Stand on the throttle and
Goes.
it's just there. But then it's kind of the same now with the V8. You stand on the throttle and it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
Just a totally different transition, and speaking of transition, the transmission, so it's just this linear progressive power.
There's no gear.
There's an electric vehicle that competes in the Formula Drift Championship in the States, and it's not totally competitive right now, but it's also very eerie, because all you hear are the squealing of the tire.
But you've actually changed the layout of where, because I mean traditionally that would be between the axles, batteries low down, low center of gravity, perfect. But you want to transfer weight, and there's no engine to throw around. So what did they do with that set? They move things back?
Yeah, there's a Tesla motor in the back, and I think it's a converter in the back end of it. Then obviously the electrical gubbins are in like where the rear seats are, and then in the front end where the engine normally is all the batteries. So you can technically have it weighted like a
60-40.
Yeah, and obviously the advantage that you could have is you could move the batteries wherever
You can move that weight around.
You can configure, which was great. But then, like you say, I've seen the car in FD, and technically it is amazing. But then you are limited to when you drive the car. Like a conventional engine, you have the rev limiter, the noise. You know, you can. It's a sixth sense that you're using when you
feeling
drive
it.
There's not an on-off switch.
Yeah.
Again, it'll definitely be developed, and I like what you said. Not everything has to have the EV element, but I think it's a great addition. You know, it's not even the future; it is the now. It's just who's going to crack the code.
You see, I mean, the guys talk. You look at World Rallycross as an example. If you're going to bring it as part of the engine. So it gives you the drive out of the corner, it gives you the launch off the line. That is it. But I want to hear that
100%.
anti-lag. I mean, I want it.
I've not gone to watch Formula E because it doesn't excite me. I don't want to listen to.
Hey, Formula E just called. They said they want you to race.
Yeah.
Cool, that's fine.
That's great because you can race in the city. There's no noise issues. But
I'm coming with a V8.
Oh no.
Yeah, it is difficult. Like I was a bit against it until I drove the car, and then I was kind of for it. I'm still 50-50.
Yeah.
It is difficult. It is the future, but how are we going to deal with it? I don't know.
I get a feeling we were on a bit of a road trip recently, and seeing how many manufacturers are starting to rebirth old classics, and I think as we push more towards autonomous and EV, vehicles are going to become A to B. You don't think about, they get you around, and then when you want to live and drive, you're going to have your weekend V8. You're going to come to venues like this, and you're going to live life. And your little carbon credits from driving EV during the week, you can go to town on the weekend because you save trees.
Well, the winner of both all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive here this weekend are winning Harley-Davidson. Speaking of electric, Harley-Davidson just launched their all-electric bike called the Livewire. So 146-mile range, and that's again just this progression.
How's that for Harley? I mean, it was all about the sound, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. The V-twin, and it's not saying, hey, we're not doing this anymore. It's a great addition to a new evolution, a new potential Harley customer, and that's where I think EV is going to be at.
Expanding that market.
Yeah, exactly. So this is your boy. This is SA
Carl
holding it down.
on a bit of a demo run at the moment, as we saw. Really, really sad. James Stephen really clattering the concrete barriers up a bit at the top end. That far section running it a little bit too hot, and no recovering from that. So a bit of a practice run. We were debating about whether he should take it easy, look after the car mechanically, but I suppose he's thinking quarterfinals, let me get this track dialed in. A free run, no pressure.
He doesn't seem to mind. He's still sending it.
Yeah.
I would personally run at 80%. Just to try and save tyres, save the car. You're going to be moving forward. You've got another strong battle coming up. You don't want to break something by playing around now.
You see, you know what the sad thing is? Can I tell you why he's doing this? Because he goes up against Oliver Solberg.
Oh, boy. Yeah,
because obviously Ollie and Petter...
I understand now.
Ollie and Petter got dialed straight through. So, I mean, James is really putting on a show here because that's going to be a tough one to match.
How are the brackets shaping up here? Who do we have so far? Because you mentioned Carl Van Ness going against Ollie Solberg, but who else in the all-wheel drive category?
So if we look all-wheel drive, so Petter Solberg will be going up against Dimitri Shribi in quarterfinal number 1, and then Bucky is up against Ben Dryberg, which will be cool.
Another all-Subaru battle.
And then Oliver Solberg up against Carl Van Ness, we've just seen finish now. And then 2 more races left here for all-wheel drive. We've got Reese Yates, which will be great against Sir Chris. Against Sir Chris Roy.
Kenneth from the block.
Yeah, Kenny from the block. So this is our smoke and style. So Ken Block versus Alex Clouden, which these are 2 different varieties of vehicles. With the Dodge Charger, this thing, I mean, half of the vehicle is as long as the Kazi is. So the iconic Cosworth going against iconic all-American vehicle with an LS under the hood. Now this vehicle was featured in Netflix new series called Hyperdrive. French-speaking, LS under the hood of a Dodge Charger. Go figure.
But is this not what makes this event so cool?
Yeah.
You know,
that's exactly that.
I mean, the crowd have come to see, obviously, Ken for sure. But I mean, you can't help but get yourself fired up.
Can you imagine being Ken sat on the line now, and that car lined up next to me? So, what is this?
Am I in a time warp?
So here we go, smoke and style featuring the head hoonigan going to charge Ken Block, and I know he's going to have a little bit of extra time, so I think he's going to throw some more smoke-filled donuts there in the end. But Alex Clouden from France in that Dodge Charger. As we are riding shotgun with Ken Block, you can see the photographer slamming down.
That is the worst job in the business.
It's tough.
I think that someone drew a
I went passenger with Dimitri yesterday, and obviously I haven't been a passenger around a Gymkhana Grid track forever. So for me, I was really taken back. I was like, is this what it feels like?
With Shribney or Ilyuk?
Ilyuk. So yeah, Ilyuk. So it's even worse. Anti-lag V8. I was like, what are you doing to me? It was getting thrown around. But because you're strapped in so tight, when you're driving, you've got like the steering wheel. You don't notice it. And I was in the car like, oh.
Now you know your friends feel you kind of drive down to the store.
I'm a bad passenger anyway.
A lot of drivers don't like being passengers.
No, but how's this for cool? So yesterday I went and put a camera in Bartosz Ostrowski's car. I think what he does, no arms, to be driving, it's amazing. But when I got there, Andreas Buckerud was like, dude, I want to go in the car with you. He couldn't believe it because he said he put on a great run and Bartosz was 0.6 slower. He's like, I can't believe this guy. So Buckerud gets in the car with him. He just sat there going, this is nuts.
That story is just something that gets me to go through what that guy's gone through and to be so positive and to come out to be racing in an event like this is unreal. Hats off to the guy. I've worked with him before. We've done some filming, and what is that?
That's his wing mirror. That's his window.
That's
his plexi window there getting thrown off. But I told you Ken was going to be fast through. Look at that. tight, just absolutely rock and roll ballet as he brings it around himself. Look at
Ken, mind
Ken
yourself.
doesn't like himself. Ken's coming out as he's throwing down. Man, that car has seen better days. And that survived other events, but now looks like he's really putting it to it.
Yeah, I'd like to add that I did hit that in Africa as well.
I've seen some water coming off that front left arch of Ken Block's.
I love it, man. Look at that.
Yeah, that big Dodge Charger wing is so iconic.
If in doubt, Burnout.
See the monster can sticking out. I think that it's convenient cup holders on the fenders.
You know, we talk about French flair.
Right.
There you have it. Just a Frenchman to come to an event like this with a car like that. It's amazing.
Qu'est-ce que c'est mon petit chou?
Super cool. Yeah, we cut you off chatting about Bartos. He's just an incredible, and that's at 19.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he was born with that.
Yeah.
So just that mental fortitude and the things that he's had to do to convert the car, it hasn't been done before. A lot of guys without legs. But
it would have been easier for him just to give up. Do you know what I mean? To say, it can't be done. So credit where credit is due. For him to do what they've done, him and his team, and to be competitive is incredible.
I know Ken's actually going to ride with Bottas later. So
that's amazing.
He's excited, again. But this is take a look. I mean, you have to, your hat tip to Alex Clouden, but I think Ken Block, definitely precision driving.
Overall, he hits himself. I would penalise him double for that, unless he just doesn't want the prop back next year.
Right, exactly. You're not invited back, Ken. So, you'd have to assume that Ken Block's going to win that smoking style. This is a hot rod, man. This car, it looks really sharp. He is our next competitor, and again, another South African boy is going against him, but Daigo Saito, he's your defending rear-wheel drive champion. He's piloting this Supra, this brand new 2JZ vehicle, 3.4 liter, 700 horsepower. He's going against, again, one of your boys from South Africa, Eric Van Essen, 600 horsepower, Eric the Viking.
Yeah, listen, it's so cool. I mean, Eric's 51 years old, and he's like,
why are you going to bring that up?
Because I think it's cool that there's no age. There's no age to this. You just keep playing and having fun. It really is amazing. But I think, Luke, Daigo's probably wishing out his Corvette here. With 200 more horsepower.
To be fair.
Rad, man.
What do you think?
Oh, is that your impersonation?
I'm trying. Stoked.
Stoked, bro.
So I personally think, to be fair, that he hasn't been running at 100%. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But today, earlier on, I was taking a wander down by the track, and there was this incredible noise, and I didn't know what it was. Turned around and there's Daigo in the car. I have never heard that car sound like that.
Right.
So he's been sandbagging.
Speaking of sand.
Yeah, maybe.
On cue.
Yeah. So potentially. Because I know, obviously, it was fierce in Africa when he had the Corvette there. I'm all out when I drive. I don't mess around. There's long gone are the days of trying to sandbag. You can't really do that. But I got a funny feeling that car wasn't running on full power, or they were doing something, or they've changed something in the geometry. It just looked incredible. So I might be completely wrong.
It's a better Gymkhana car.
Yeah.
Than the Corvette, for sure, proportionally.
Yeah, the Vet's a little longer. He has that horsepower, but Daigo Saito is one of the best drifters in the world, especially in chase. Chase isn't such the category here, but now he's got to stay calm. We talked about keeping your cool, no pun intended, it's definitely getting hot in that vehicle. And that brand new Supra, I mean, these things are just hitting dealerships, and he's already got a wide body 2J,
but he's causing
kitted
so
and
much
committed.
problems. He's reigniting that fire on the internet about the Supra not being a Supra because the BMW and what does he do? Takes it and put the old engine in.
Well, I talked to him about, I mean, the 2J is a 30-year-old engine, but I talked to him about this vehicle. I said, hey, what about suspension on that? He says, it's BMW. I said, oh yeah. So a lot of the parts from BMW, such as like his wife's fab angle kit.
His wife fab?
Yeah, it's wife's fab.
He said wife fab.
No, I said wife's fab. Look, I'm the announcer. To be fair.
It's payback. You did throw him under the bus at the media.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Well, I'd love to see you compete out there, but you're not.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm looking forward to you. And again, I was gutted for you that you couldn't defend your crown, but that just goes to show you how competitive it is, and you got to bring your A game in.
For sure. I mean, I have not had a chance to run against Daigo still. Like last year, we never competed against each other. I put myself out. I missed the ball last year.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to run against him. Same again this year. Didn't get a chance to run against him. So next year for sure, we'll be there. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what it would take to get Daigo flustered. Maybe the Monster Girl might fluster him, but I don't know.
There you go. All right, well, Luke, it's been great having you here.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, you're not competing, but we'll party tonight. But as we have a little lull in the action, you talk about, is he sandbagging? Well,
There's
we
no
literally
have
have
comment
sand.
on there.
No, I got nothing.
I've
bro.
got
What do
nothing
you
to
got?
say about our Monster Girls.
Yeah, beautiful gals,
Beautiful
throwing out some swag.
They're all really nice girls.
As we are cleaning up some fluid there that Alex threw down, we're going to be throwing some stuff to the crowd. But again, thank you, Mr. Woodham.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I will see you later on.
If things don't pan out, commentary's really good for you.
Okay.
He said I'm going to stick to racing right off
It's
camera.
good, man.
All right, Marius. So,
It's so cool.
We've
You know,
had
that's what we love having that
Yeah.
insight from someone that's done so many grids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really cool. Nice to catch up.
Yeah, just getting the insight and still keeping the spirits high as well.
I still want to find out, was it
Yeah.
Mantis or was it Kuba that went through in that rear-wheel drive battle? Because you and I were disagreeing with what we were
Yeah,
seeing
the
on
clock
the timings.
didn't seem exactly
so
right.
We can't update that. We'll figure out what's going to happen there. But we're talking about the next race that's coming up. Obviously, Daigo Saito up against Eric from Essen. Eric van Essen. Eric, the Viking from South
The
Africa.
Viking. Why is it the Viking is from South Africa?
Why not?
Are there Vikings in South
No.
Africa?
No. Don't ask me to. I can't
I
answer
don't
that
know.
one.
I just know he's 51 years old.
Stumped. Yeah, listen, for me it is so cool. Remember we had him in studio last
Yeah.
year chatting and he was gutted. He was pushing his car back and he actually went and tore
I know.
ligaments. He had to have
I
surgery.
talked to him about that yesterday or the other night and how they reattached his bicep. Oh man, it sounds terrible, but
It
he's
was a
back.
big op.
He's back. So we're gonna be getting some more guests here in just a little bit. But again, Marius Roberts, I'm Jared Dienda. Down on the ground is Colby West. We haven't had any words with Colby yet.
Is Colby still here?
I think Colby is still here.
Well,
but,
if we can find him, maybe he could be chatting to Daigo as he sits in the car waiting. Because we know how talkative Daigo is.
Yeah, Daigo, he's a real chatterbox.
You love interviewing him, don't you?
Daigo is one of the easiest interviews ever. And just-
Arigato.
Hi, Genki. Genki, hi. No, I love Daigo, again, just from the years he competed in Formula Drift and just seeing him around at events such as this. So you can see a lot of fluid out there on track, but now the kitty litter soaking it up, and we will continue the action here in just a moment. As our next battle, Daigo Saito, Eric van Essen, Japan versus South Africa. Also, we have two battles left in all-wheel drive. Reese Yates versus Chris Hoy. Rico Taco versus Marcin Visik, so from Poland.
I'm quite keen to see. I mean, this is what's so great about the appeal of this event, that you get someone like Chris Hoy.
Sir
who-
Chris Hoy.
Sir,
Chris
yeah,
Hoy.
yeah.
He's been knighted.
I know.
The what is it? Most celebrated, decorated British cyclist Olympian ever.
It was quite cool in the interview. You were talking about the torque that he produces.
He produces 700 Newton meters of torque, which
Yeah.
is more than the Ferrari Enzo.
That's nuts.
I want to challenge him in an Indian leg war. Oh man.
I think that's not a bad idea, because I mean, I think maybe that's why they've brought the bikes.
For Chris Hoy to compete
Yeah,
in Gymkhana
Gilbert and the
Grid.
team obviously had vision, so if things don't pan out with his Hyundai R5, he could
Right.
maybe get him to launch one of those off the line.
One of those Huffies, one of those BMX bikes or the mountain bike.
I wonder what time you do around here
Right.
on his bicycle. Hey?
Yeah, a couple. I think they have flat tires.
Listen, it's been a challenge for him, and I think that's what he's admitted. He's got to drive some really cool cars. He did a round of World Rallycross earlier. He's done Le Mans. I mean, he's raced and driven it all. A big petrol head. He actually refers to Colin McRae, much like Ken Block does,
Yeah.
in terms of who was the inspiration. Interesting that they both cite Colin as the guy that lit the flame for them. But I think he himself admitted this is really, really challenging.
He got
couldn't
into
get his
it.
head around how to use the cut brake, using the clutch to try and get the car rotated. It's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, he got into the wall. He got into the tussle yesterday. Showed me the video. Just backed it in, knocked the wheel off. They got it back together. But he's out here filming for a TV show to talk exactly about that, on how difficult this discipline is. He says, I'm more nervous doing this than even rallycross.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's, again, with all those accolades, we speak him up, but he's won points in FIA rallycross, and here he is struggling to compete, and we'll see if he can make it past, another Brit, which Reese Yates, a young man who is the only full-time UK driver competing in WRC in Class 2. So
You know, chatting with Reese earlier, I think they wish they had a little bit more horsepower.
Yeah.
To be able to really take on the Sundays. But as a third fastest qualifier, it's been amazing. But let's see what was being said earlier by Luke, that he says this car is sounding demented now, that maybe Daigo's got it running on
Turned
all
up the
cylinders.
boost.
Yeah. And obviously Eric, I think he just loves the moment. I think it's so great to come all the way from South Africa to Poland to come and live your dream. I think
to
it's
do
amazing.
battle against the Ninja, Daigo Saito. I deemed him the Ninja because when he came to the States, he was all black everything, right? He just came in and just started slicing some throats. Here we go, Eric Van Essen, the Viking versus the Ninja. That is Daigo Saito in that brand new Toyota Supra. Here we go. Daigo getting a massive jump here over the South African driver, Eric Van Essen.
I'm just saying, look at the time difference there over the line. Acceleration time into the arena, 5 seconds over 6.1. So it's a second quicker by the time you arrive in that arena. That Supra really is looking dialed in, but he is such a good driver. Eric making a mistake there, getting a 1 second penalty already. Not a great start for him, but Daigo, his precision is incredible. Really, really special.
All right, so you can see Daigo Saito bringing it into the containers. And now around the bull, Daigo Saito. We're joined with a special guest out here. Tessa Whittick, how are we doing? Are we on? Are we live? We're not live just yet. We'll turn you up here in a moment. Just make sure. But as we are competing and completing on Daigo, just keeping it tight.
Look at exactly how tight his rotations are. The guy is brilliant. That's what Luke was saying as well. Your approach, you can't just go and hang it out and drift all the way around. You almost got to stop and turn it to get the best time out of there. But the guy's a master. Really, really cool.
All right, so Eric the Viking, as you said, that 1 second penalty now into the bumper car washing machine.
We're getting fist bumps here because we've got Tessa joining us in studio. Going to have a good chat to her. Nice to have her back.
So look at this, Eric actually gaining some ground, and Daigo rips it around the 720, completes him. So look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot of time being consumed there. And look at that, 141. All right, so 141, 136, and 134 as, again, we have a special guest in here, Tessa Whittick. As, did I say your last name right? I feel like I'm butchering a little bit. Am I all right?
Actually, for an American, you're okay.
Yeah.
Well, say it properly.
Whittock.
Whittock.
Yes.
Tessa Whittock.
Tessa, don't you love when Jared says, like, people don't speak American?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
speak
pretty sure it's
American.
English.
American.
That sounds like a valley girl. American.
I felt really sorry for you
Why is that?
because, I mean, you gutted that you didn't make it through, obviously.
Yeah, of course I
Maris is
am.
gonna cry. Look at his
And
face,
then,
right?
no, really. And then they put you in a smoke and style head-to-head battle against a Polish driver. I mean, you're never going to win that either with the crowd.
I know, exactly.
You were brilliant, but they
she's
were-
awesome.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Good
All
to
right.
have two girls competing, which is really great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Eric Van Essen, Daigo Saito? What do you think? I mean, you're a drifter. I mean, you know, you and Martin are definitely competitors. You like cool builds. You drive a cool car. How about this Supra?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
I shouldn't say that on live.
No, you're fine.
But Daigo's car is one of a kind, and hoping one day, if not in the not too distant future, that's going to be my new build. So.
Okay. All right. There you go.
I'm just loving the onboard, you know, to watch the master
Oh,
work.
it's incredible.
It's so busy,
And-
so much going on there, you know.
It certainly is. And he's got how new that car is and the new setup with it. It's perfect.
NBD, no big deal. Because, excuse me, Mr. Woodham, Luke was just in here, and he was saying that he thinks he just found a little extra special sauce coming from today or yesterday into today. He says the car sounds a little bit different. Do you think he was kind of sandbagging a little bit?
Potentially, yeah.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's a sneaky little Japanese cat.
That's why he
That's
doesn't
why I
say
called the
anything to you.
ninja, dude.
He says nothing to you in interviews. He doesn't want to give anything away. That's
No,
why.
dude, he is a sneaky son of a gun.
Oh, but look at that car. Come on.
Talk us through the track. You did the track walk right in the beginning of our live feed, which was really cool to see you going through that. You love it? Good circuit?
Absolutely awesome. It's obviously this is my second year here, and last year it was a lot shorter. This one is incredible and so much longer. And yeah, okay, in the beginning it was rather tough to get through, but once you get the hang of it and once it's in your head,
It actually flows a lot better,
Really
I think.
flows really well.
The worst part of the track.
That's what I was just going to say. Took the words out of my mouth. Worst part, most difficult obstacle. As real quick, Daigo Saito across the finish line.
Well done,
Eric
Daigo.
Van Ness is just coming across.
Eric the Viking.
Can I, before you answer that, I mean, Eric wasn't classified in that previous run, so obviously made a mistake on the course. So definitely not going through, but just a shout out to my fellow South African great who's come all the way to Poland. I think it's
SA
cool.
getting
Sorry.
shot
With
down
Cole
here.
that's still in the battle, so that's great. But I mean, Daigo,
Well done, Daigo.
no surprises. The guy's a master.
Tess is so like just happy for everybody. She's like, oh, that's good. Oh, wow, that's good.
You have to be.
All right,
Okay.
so here's Daigo taking a look at his run once again. Eric Van Essen taking himself out on that second run with that DNF. Eric the Viking gets taken out by the Ninja. Daigo Saito will advance on into the grade. Yeah,
He
slamming that ball.
He nailed that
Yes.
rotation, man. That is
Get it.
cool.
Yeah, he ripped into that pinata.
Yeah.